All right, let's dive in. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on one of the most critical parts of any modern app, the Android data layer. You might not see it, but it's basically the secret brain that makes everything run smoothly. So let's figure out how it all works. I mean, think about it for a second. You tap a few buttons on your phone, and behind the scenes, this incredible dance of information kicks off. The app has to juggle your account, the menu, your order status, the driver's location, all at the same time. How in the world does it keep all of that straight without just, completely falling apart? Because trust me, without a solid plan, that's exactly what you get. Pure chaos. Imagine if every piece of the app, the map screen, the internet connection, the order history, was just grabbing for data from all over the place. It would be an absolute recipe for disaster. We're talking lost orders, wrong information, and crashes all the time. To fix this mess, developers use a really smart system. And to get our heads around it, let's stop thinking about code for a minute and instead think of our app like a fancy restaurant. And the heart of that restaurant, a professional, organized kitchen. And that kitchen, that's our data layer. And seriously, the difference is just night and day. An app without a data layer, it's like a restaurant with no kitchen at all. The waiters are just frantically running outside to different stores for every single order. It's slow, it's messy, and it's totally unreliable. But with a data layer, suddenly you have a professional kitchen. Everything has its place, there's a system, and the result is a perfect dish every single time. So what is this kitchen in more official terms? Well, the data layer is the part of the app that holds all the data. And, this is the important part, the business logic. Now, business logic sounds kind of corporate and scary, doesn't it? But all it really means is the app's rulebook. It's the collection of recipes that dictate how data gets created, saved, and changed. It's the single source of truth for all things data. Okay, so we've established our kitchen. Now, let's peek inside and meet the crew and see where they get all their supplies. This is where we break down the key parts that make this whole system tick. The flow of data is actually beautifully simple. First, the raw ingredients, our data, arrive from different places. Second, our main chef gets to work organizing and preparing everything according to the recipe. And finally, the perfectly prepared dish, that's our clean, ready-to-use data, is sent out to the dining room, which is the screen on your phone. So where do these ingredients come from? They come from what we call data sources. And there are really only two kinds you need to worry about. First, you have remote data sources. Think of these like a delivery truck, bringing fresh ingredients in from the outside world. That's data coming from the internet. And then you have local data sources. This is like the kitchen's fridge, storing ingredients right there on the phone so you can grab them quickly, even if the delivery truck can't get through. And who's in charge of managing all these ingredients? That would be the repository. This is our head chef. The repository is the absolute boss of this kitchen. When the rest of the app needs something, when a waiter puts in an order, they don't go digging through the fridge or chasing down delivery trucks themselves. No way. They talk to one person and one person only, the head chef. The repository knows exactly what to do, whether to get fresh stuff from the network, grab it from local storage, or maybe even mix the two to create the perfect dish. And this right here, this is the golden rule of the whole system. The rest of the app, the screens, the buttons, everything you see, only talks to the repository. It never, ever bypasses the head chef and goes straight for the ingredients. This one rule is what keeps everything clean and organized and prevents that chaos we were talking about earlier. Hey, by the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown and things are starting to click, it would be awesome if you hit that subscribe button. We do simple, practical explainers just like this one all the time. Okay, let's put our professional kitchen to the test with a real-world example. We're going to see how this exact structure powers a kind of app you've definitely used before, a simple notes app. So here's how it works. You type up a new note on your screen. The screen itself doesn't know how to save it. Its job is way simpler. It just hands the note to our head chef, the repository, and says, hey, save this for me. The repository takes over completely. It tells the fridge, our local data source, to store the note safely on the phone. Then it tells the delivery truck, our remote data source, to send a copy up to the cloud for backup. It handles the whole process. But wait a minute, you might be wondering, what if the note on my phone is different from the version in the cloud? Which one is correct? That's a great question. To avoid that confusion, the repositories establishes what's called a single source of truth. It basically decides that one place, almost always the local database, the fridge, is the official, correct version of the data. This is the secret sauce for amazing offline apps, because even with no internet, the app can still confidently show you the data from its local fridge. So why go through all this trouble just to organize our data? Because the payoff is huge. It's a game changer for the developers building the app and for you, the person actually using it. It really does create a 5-star experience. The benefits are super clear. First, you get way fewer bugs and crashes. Less chaos just means fewer mistakes. The app also works great offline because it knows to just use the local data from the fridge. It's also way easier for developers to update. Want to switch to a new cloud service? You just swap out the delivery truck without having to rebuild the entire kitchen. And finally, every part can be tested on its own, which means a much higher quality, more reliable app in the end. And you can really see the impact on quality here. An app with no data layer is just brittle. It's full of bugs and a nightmare to maintain. But an app with a well-designed data layer is the total opposite. It's stable, reliable, and just built to last. It's a direct investment in making a good product. So as we start to wrap up, if this explanation really did help things click for you, I'd personally appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. That way, you won't miss out on the next simple guide we put out. So after all that, what's the big takeaway? It really all boils down to one simple, powerful idea. The data layer is that silent, organized professional working hard behind the scenes. It's the reason your apps feel stable, responsive, and just work, whether you're online or not. It's the invisible helper that turns all that potential data chaos into a smooth, reliable experience for you. And that's the Android data layer in a nutshell. I really hope this explainer helped you get a better handle on the tech that powers so many of your favorite apps. Be sure to subscribe for more breakdowns just like this one. Thanks so much for watching. But before you go, I have a question for you. What other hidden systems or invisible helpers inside your favorite apps are you curious about? Drop your ideas in the comments below. We'd love to hear them and maybe tackle one in our next explainer.